So, you guys are probably already well aware of the situation with Vester&Friends by now, but just in case you aren't, here's what happened. So, 2 days ago, I published a review where I compared two of Vester's videos to one another, and this is all pretty standard stuff for this channel. Well, Vester didn't like this review very much and did some rather, deplorable things as a result. Before we go any further, I just would like to say that it's completely fine if you don't agree with my points. While I make these videos to help creators improve, I understand that not everybody wants to use my advice, and that's completely fine. The only thing I ask is that you can accept my opinions and handle things respectfully. With all that being said, it's pretty safe to say that Vester did not handle things respectfully. To summarize what happened, he made a video saying I was attacking him, which led his fans to dislike spam my video, and he abused YouTube's copyright system by striking my video down even though it falls under fair use as criticism. We'll get to the last thing I mentioned later in this video, but first let's talk about Vester's video where he claimed I attacked him. We won't be going over the whole thing since the criticism towards my review isn't the point. What I will be going over is the points where he says I attacked him. So let's get started. Vester continuously said that I didn't think he would ever improve. Now, I never said this, but even if I had, saying I attacked you is over-exaggerating, to say the least. If someone thinks you'll never improve, that's nothing more than their opinion. Again, I didn't say this, I'm just saying. The part he was referring to is when I said, Vester doesn't look like he's gonna get any better anytime soon. As you can see, I never said he couldn't improve. While I get how you can misinterpret what I said, that doesn't change the fact that I never said or even implied that Vester can never improve its content. I said it doesn't look like he's getting any better, which is an opinion that I am entitled to have, and have given supported reasons to. Vester's content hasn't improved a lot from what I've seen, but I do believe that if he works hard, he can improve. Tons of creators who are used to dislike definitely have gotten better over time, and Vester is more than capable of doing the same. This leads me to another point. Vester himself and some of the people supporting him have said that I am not allowed to say that a channel is bad when I only have watched 5 videos. This is a very flawed argument, and I'd like to quickly take a minute to talk about it. While Vester does have 1,000 videos on his channel, a large portion of them aren't plush videos. Saying that I need to watch a substantial percentage of his overall content would be pointless. Aside from that, I don't think it's necessary to watch dozens to hundreds of videos from a creator to figure out if his channel you'll like or not. It usually doesn't take many movies to figure out if you like a certain genre. You don't need to watch a full season of a show to figure out if you like the characters or not. I get that Vester was on break when he made the videos I reviewed, but that doesn't mean that they're above criticism or that he couldn't respectfully accept what I had to say. Another point Vester made is how he puts dozens of hours into his work, and therefore it is wrong to give him criticism. This makes no sense for obvious reasons, but I'll explain anyway. For every YouTuber out there, they care about their content that they're making, and they put time into their work. That doesn't mean that they're above criticism or don't have any room to improve. He also implied that I shouldn't be making reviews because I am not an official source like IGN. Let's see here. We have Ant Dude, we have Scott the Waz, I Hate Everything, Nathaniel Bandy, Peanut Butter Gamer, Mr. Enter, Pie Guy Rules, Phantom Strider, Cartoon She, Cosmonaut Variety Hour, and The Alpha J Show. By his logic, those people are not allowed to make reviews either. Before we move on, I'd like to point out one thing. People were saying I couldn't run a plush channel myself. Ignoring the fact that I do have a plush channel, why would I need one? The reviewers I mentioned earlier are well known to be really good at talking about video games and TV shows, despite never making one of their own. We are the audience, and we know what we like. We are entitled to give our opinions. Everything I've talked about up until now hasn't bothered me that much. It's annoying and wrong, but it didn't really affect me or my channel. This last thing that I'm going to mention really did bother me and affected me greatly. So as I've mentioned in the video, Vester gave me my video of his reviews a copyright strike. For those that don't know, getting one copyright strike limits all of my future videos to be under 15 minutes for the following 90 days I have the strike. This also limits my access to live streams and monetization. You might be thinking that I deserve to be hit with a copyright strike. You might also think that what I did violates copyright and Vester had every right to strike me. Well, here's the thing. He didn't. There's this thing called fair use, and it's really important even if YouTube pretends it isn't. While I did use clips from Vester's videos, fair use protects me from inflicting on his copyright. To better describe what fair use is, let me read this text from Stanford. Quote, in its most general sense, a fair use is any copying of copyrighted material done for a limited and transformative purpose, such as to comment upon, criticize, or parody a copyrighted work. Such uses can be done without permission from the copyright owner. In other words, fair use is a defense against a claim of copyright infringement. If your use qualifies as a fair use, then it would not be considered an infringement. End quote. My videos are reviews, and as I just read, criticism is fair use. Therefore, I didn't need to get permission from Vester to make the review. I know Vester thinks the strike is deserved because it matched and YouTube let him do it, but YouTube still has to abide by fair use law. The reason it let you strike me is because YouTube doesn't realize when something is fair use. To prove my point even further, here's a quote from YouTube themselves. Quote, works of commentary, criticism, research, teaching, or news reporting might be considered fair use, end quote. Vester has abused a broken copyright system on this platform to get rid of my video with zero regard of the law. Vester has said many times that he is sorry for what has happened and that he won't do it again. Kind of weird that I, the person he went after, didn't get an apology, but I honestly don't care about that. I'm willing to move on from this entire situation if Vester will just remove the copyright strike. You might be confused to why I don't just appeal the strike myself. The thing is, YouTube asks for extremely private information when you try to appeal a strike, and on top of that, the appeal will just be sent to Vester either way. He can just easily deny the appeal, and then I'm in risk of losing this channel. This situation has been a massive headache for me, and I know what has been one for Vester as well. I'd like to make it clear that I don't hate Vester as a person. However, I think what he's done is wrong, and I'm asking him to correct his mistake. Vester, if you're sorry about what's happened, please remove the copyright strike. I know plenty of people, including myself, will be able to move on from everything that's happened if you just remove the strike. I know it may not seem like it, but I'm not a cyberbully. The review I made wasn't meant to hurt you or your fanbase, and I apologize if it did so. As I said at the start of the video, these videos are meant to help people, not to hurt or attack them. A link to the sources I used in the making of this video will be provided in the description below, and have a good rest of your day.